Tonight on Sports Saturday, it's crunch time at the Rhodes House. Would Bama softball send Oklahoma back sweeping down the plains, or could the Tide strike back and pack their bags for OKC?
You could feel it. It was fun.
We have the recap. Speaking of packing our bags, we're going on a cross-country trip. A Texas-sized recruit for the Tide, 600 miles of track at Charlotte, Indy getting ready for the 500. How do we get it all crammed into 15 minutes?
It was an art.
It's almost like we have superpowers, right guys? So slide on in. There's no need to argue. Find a friend. We're lighting up the night, and we're ready to roll out right now.
From the campus of the University of Alabama, live sports from Alabama's sports team. This is WVUA Sports.
Have you ever known that you were going to have a bad day before you even got out of bed? Well, Reds manager Brian Price knows that feeling. He was tossed out of today's game before it even started. During the exchange of lineup cards, Price was tossed. Apparently, he didn't have kind words for the umpire calls he made from the night before, apparently the culprit. A bad start for him, but a great start for us. Welcome in, everyone, to Sports Saturday. I'm BJ Millican. Jen Chapman has the night off. Alabama's softball team was hoping that the Oklahoma Sooners would take the night off for the conclusion of their Super Regional Series out at the Rhodes House. Well, let's go see what happened. The Sooners only needed one win to advance in the Women's College World Series, but Bama trying to force a Game 3, and they got 2 on with nobody out in the first, but Paige Parker gets out of trouble, forcing the ground out. No damage done. Osorio does the same. Equally as sharp, Aaron Miller lines out to Marissa Runyon. Bats all quiet until Jaden Spencer steps up in the third with a runner on. She goes yard. Alabama led 2-0. But Sooners dangerous on offense. The bases juiced in the fifth. All-time home run queen at the plate. No. Osorio strikes her out. 7 punch-outs for her in the first game. Tying run at the plate for the Sooners. Last out, though, Jessica Vest can't bring her home. Bama wins Game 2, shuts out the Sooners 2-0. That forced a winner-take-all Game 3. Osorio in the circle again. She was going to get some defensive help early from a person called Haley McClenny. This is going to be on SportsCenter. Watch her. Rob Shelby Pendleton of the home run. Not in the Rhodes House. Then, here they come batting with the bases juiced in the first, and again, watch McClenny stretch it out, making the catch. Bama's bats would hopefully come alive as well. Chauncey Bell with the single to left center, bringing home who else? Haley McClenny. Bama led 1-0, but hang on. Remember that Sooner offense? Boom, the Smash Sisters at work. Lauren Chamberlain drills this one out. It is 2-1. Oklahoma takes the lead, but Osorio gets out of more trouble with the bases loaded. Demi Turner, nice play to get out of the inning. That would be huge. Sooners tacked on one more. Bama down to their final 4 outs. Marissa Runyon, bam! Bases loaded, grand slam in the 6th, living up to her name. Bama takes a 5-3 lead on Runyon's 19th of the year. It's going to be up to Osorio to close it out, and of course, she does what she does. She's clutch. Last play, it's a pop-out, and guess who catches it? Marissa Runyon. Bama is going back to Oklahoma City. 5-3, the win. It's Alabama's 10th appearance in Oklahoma City, the 14th time a team has ever lost the first game in a Super Regional, then come back, won the series. Bama has done it twice now, including 2011. Bama back to OKC. The SEC was hoping to continue their takeover of Oklahoma City. 6 teams still alive and looking to punch their World Series tickets. One of those, the Auburn Tigers. They needed just one win against UL Lafayette to advance to their first ever World Series. They're doing it with defense. Bases loaded in the 4th, tied at 2 when Casey Cooper makes the heads-up double play to end the Cajun threat. They're fired up. Look at them. Then the Cooper stepped to the plate with 2 runners on in the 6th, sends it out of the park. A 3-run shot that would put Auburn up 6-2. That's all they need to clinch their first trip to OKC in program history. Something Clint Myers hopes it's just the beginning.
Next to me and the ones that you hear out there in the field, they're believers. And again, what we've tried to get to them, and it's not a goal to get to the College World Series, it's an expectation. And I think that these young ladies, they're the very first ones to ever do it, are going to, be the starting point for something very good here at Auburn.
There you go. It's Meyer's 8th trip to the World Series, 7 of those with Arizona State. Here are the teams who are in right now from the SEC and other places. 3 more will punch their tickets on Sunday. That's Auburn, Tennessee, Michigan, Oregon, and Alabama right now in. Now, postseason, unfortunately, not in the cards for the Alabama baseball team. Mitch Gaspard and the crew say saw their season come to an end with a lopsided 16-1 loss to Vanderbilt on Friday at the SEC tournament in Hoover. Now, the season ends at 32-28. An at-large bid is unlikely despite a respectable RPI, but in a year of living out of hotels and playing home games 45 minutes away from campus, Bama players looked at this season not as a failure, but as an opportunity to grow closer as a team.
It was awesome getting to be with your brothers every day of the year and traveling with them, being on a bus with them. Those experiences you're not going to forget. And that was the cool aspect of it was getting to travel with those guys, stay in hotels with those guys, and just be a unit all year.
People will never really get to understand what we had this year. At times it was rough. Getting on the bus on a Tuesday after a long weekend was the last thing you wanted to do. But it really brought our team together.
Now, the show does go on from Hoover. Sunday's championship game is now set. The 2nd seed Vanderbilt Commodores continued their offensive onslaught today against Texas A&M. They're in the championship game. And then 4th seeded Florida knocked out top seeded LSU 2-1. It's the Doors and Gators for the title at 3:30 on Sunday. Still more sports Saturday to come. When we come back, we'll head around the country for a little more baseball and 1,100 miles of racing. Get revved up. But next, we're going to talk about the latest recruit to commit to Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide. A big commitment, to say the least. We'll tell you about him when we return. Stay with us. We're back on Sports Saturday. Now, this is not a replay of last week, but it is Miguel Angel Jimenez driving a hole-in-one. He got it. He did it last week as well, but listen to it and watch him dance, because this is my favorite part. It is his European Tour record 10th hole-in-one of his career. Not too bad there, and he's got some good dance moves. And, I'm not sure what the football equivalent of a hole-in-one is, but I am sure that Nick Saban is a fairly capable recruiter. He proved that once again on Friday, picking up a big commitment from the Lone Star State, and I do mean big. This is Kendall Jones. They say that everything is bigger in Texas, and I do believe them. Jones, a defensive lineman who stands 6'4" and weighs in at a whopping 360 pounds. Whoa! He's regarded as one of the top linemen in the state. He picked Alabama after his school's spring game on Friday. Let's look at the stats on him. Kendall is Alabama's 9th verbal commitment for the 2016 class. He picked the Tide over Baylor, LSU, Texas, and the Aggies. Rivals.com rates him as a 4-star recruit, so a big-time pickup for the Tide. Now, it is a 5-star weekend if you're a sports fan. A lot of great stuff going on today and tomorrow. The Atlanta Braves are looking to get back to 500 against the Milwaukee Brewers at the TED. Now, they would have to put up with Ryan Braun. The former MVP laces this one to center to put Milwaukee up early, but the Braves, they've been in this situation before. Down 2, Freddie Freeman beats the shift, sneaks this ball into right. A run comes home. We're going to extras. That's where rookie Jace Peterson delivers big time. He gets the walk-off hit. The Braves even their record to 21-21, winning 3-2. Time to go racing in Charlotte, the Xfinity Series there today. And the old Speedway was having its way with the motor cars. Jamie Dick's car goes all rad racer, but in real life you cannot use the smoke screen to distract your opponent. It just puts you into the wall. Austin Dillon, though, he wasn't in the wall. He held the lead most of the race, ends up taking the checkered flag. It is his 2nd victory of the season. Let's not take me yet. I want to see him do the slide. There it is. I don't know exactly why he did that, but he won the race, so he was happy. Saturday was just a warm-up, though. Sunday, the Sprint Cup guys will race the longest race of the year, the Coca-Cola 600. That's 600 miles. It'll be the 2nd race back for Kyle Busch. He was injured at Daytona and finished 6th last week. He's looking forward to another run in the car, while the pole sitter is Matt Kenseth. He's going to be looking for his 3rd career win at Charlotte.
Track position is always important. You always want to start as far forward as you can. So, excited to run a pole. Excited all the Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas had some speed tonight. That was encouraging. So we'll get to work Saturday and try to get a good race balance.
Getting back in the race car first and foremost last weekend was really good for me, for my team, just to kind of get a basis and learn some things and get a feel for everything. That was perfect for us.
Now, 575 miles to the northwest of Charlotte sits the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. On Sunday, it's going to be the 99th running of the Indy 500. Scott Dixon is the favorite to win the race. He, along with Will Power and Simon Pagenaud, will start on the first row. So that means 575 miles. They could go there in the Charlotte. They're going to travel that distance. So they're going to travel the distance between Charlotte and Indianapolis plus 25 miles in the Charlotte or the Coca-Cola 600. I'm impressing my math teachers right now with my math skills, so be jealous. Still more Sports Saturday to come. Next, we're going to give you an update on 2 Alabama athletics teams still in the hunt for a title. We will be right back. With Alabama's women's tennis team failing to bring home a team title, the only hope left for them was defending doubles champs Maya Jansen and Aaron Routleth. They fell behind today against Baylor, but fought back, as it seems to be a theme in the athletics department today. They advanced to the Final Four against a team from Stanford. Now, the women's golf team was not so fortunate. They are 41 over in the NCAA Women's Championship. That has them tied for 13th after a weather-suspended second round. Emma Talley is currently 2nd individually. They'll continue to play on Sunday. I want to read a couple of stats from this Alabama-Oklahoma game and the series. Prior to this season, only 13 times out of 80 chances has a team come back from down 0-1 to win a Super Regional. As I told you earlier, Alabama did it tonight. And they also did it in 2011. So twice out of 14 have been Alabama. We're going to hear from Pat Murphy tomorrow night on One-on-One with Jim. The second part of that, it's going to be great stuff. We're going to close on some Alabama highlights maybe that maybe helps you relive this a little bit, this Alabama victory in the Super Regional, advancing once again the 10th time to Oklahoma City and the College World Series. Like I said, Pat Murphy, One-on-One tomorrow night, talks about that Stanford series in 2011 and one of his favorite players. That's all for tonight. Good night, everybody.